My guest today is a very special guest. We do it with on Zoom, not because of COVID-19, but because Julien Sicard, my guest, is not able to be here at the studio right now because in the other side of the world, he's in Shanghai right now. Julien is a co-president of LinkedIn Local Asia and also a CEO of Genius Encel, and we'll give a brief description of that in a minute. Basically, Julien is a master of using LinkedIn in a very efficient way. Personally, I attended one of his webinars yesterday. I learned a lot about what I need to do in my LinkedIn profile. You know what, Julien, let me introduce this shortly because I want us to have enough time to talk about the real items. LinkedIn Local Asia is basically a program that creates meetups for LinkedIn users in how many places in the world?
1,100 cities and 110 countries in total now. Yeah.
Okay. It will be interesting to check. I will check it later if we have in Tel Aviv, LinkedIn Local Tel Aviv. I don't remember seeing it. Maybe we have. I don't remember seeing it. And Genius Encel, this is basically a branding and a branding firm. No, it's not a branding firm. It's not the right.
Digital agency.
Digital agency. Sorry, a digital agency specializes in LinkedIn, and we started talking when people didn't hear us while we were on mute. We started talking about how to optimize our profile in LinkedIn because a lot of people, I know for myself, when I created my LinkedIn page, everybody told me, you're a business consultant, you need to be on LinkedIn. So I created a LinkedIn page, a LinkedIn profile, and I didn't really do a lot of things in the profile, and I didn't do a lot of things in it for quite a few years. So we started to talk about how to optimize, and I think the first tip you gave is a very, very important one. You talked about a professional photograph. Unlike Instagram or Facebook, where we can put, our photograph with our wife or with our kids or with our dog or in a bathing suit or something like that. I will let you explain why it's important, again, for the people that are joining us now, why it is so important to make attention to the profile picture we put on LinkedIn.
That's very clear what you say, actually, Amir. The thing is, LinkedIn, it's a professional social network. So again, majority of people that register, it's high executive in the majority. Okay, so again, Facebook, Instagram have their own particularity, and that's also the main challenge when right now in 2020 you have so many different platforms. It's to really understand how each one of these platforms work. And LinkedIn is very specific because it has been always centered around the being professional. So obviously, what we expect from you when you're on LinkedIn is to remain professional. So obviously, not a selfie in your bathroom as a picture. And what we need to understand, it's also what is your value proposition. Is not superficial. You need to really explain, helping this kind of people by providing this kind of services. And that's the point, because you want to be found, and that's why you want to optimize your profile to be found for your next opportunity for again next collaboration, your next job. Okay,
you're
very important.
Julien, you're talking about our description at the beginning, at the really at the top of the profile, right?
Yeah, correct. So it's what we call the title. Okay, so you have the profile picture, then you have what we call a banner. So on the banner, a lot of people unfortunately don't take advantage of that. but you can take advantage of this banner to, for instance, invite the people to visit your website or your podcast. It's a free
Right.
advertising. So when before to engage on really optimizing your profile, people get often very confused about that. Your LinkedIn profile is not a CV. It's a sales page. You are here to sell yourself.
Oh,
And you like to say,
you said it very quickly, like it's just another sentence, but it's I think what you said right now is very very important, and for the people
yeah,
that are listening, that are everybody goes to, especially LinkedIn, to a business network. You want to expand your businesses. You said it. You said, and it's very very important. I want to repeat it because
yeah,
the LinkedIn profile is not our CV. It's not meant just to describe what we did in each year and who and what company or what employer we worked for. It's like you said, it's a sales page. It's a page that we need
correct.
to create it to be interesting, so people will see it and will say, "Whoa, I want to meet this people, this person."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, and that's the main point. Like when you understand that, then your experience through LinkedIn will really change. And it's again on the wording. Like if you're gonna say something like looking for new challenges, well, again, you need to come back to the basic principle of the psychology. You need to remain in alpha position, in not being in beta position, because words are
What do you
power.
mean? What do you mean by alpha position and not beta position?
Alpha position meaning like, okay, you need to show by words, like you provide the value. Okay, like
Okay.
you really have something. Everyone, anyway, has something to offer to this world, and you need to be aware of that. Because unfortunately, if you analyze a lot of profile, and I see that often, it's I'm looking for a new job. So it's not exciting, right, for
Right.
someone to recruit you. But let's say someone like you tomorrow, you want to launch a business. You won't say, let's say, okay, we imagine tomorrow you develop an agency that helps a big corporation to develop their own podcast. That could be actually a new business you could launch, Amir, because I mean I see more and more companies here in Asia doing that. So let's say, okay, you want to promote this new service.
Okay.
You won't say like, oh, I'm looking for a new client to help them with their podcast.
Of course.
Ah, you're gonna help that way, helping in this crisis time to increase the visibility of the big corporation in Tel Aviv, something like that, through using a channel like the podcast, which
Hmm.
is a new channel, a channel that have more and more importance. So
Yes.
that's the way you're gonna word it, and that again will attract people to your profile. That's what I mean when I say remain in alpha position. It
Okay.
means like, okay, showing you are not begging for new clients. In the contrary, no, you are sure of what you have to offer. And if someone is interested, they will naturally contact you. It's what we call inbound marketing. It's like you let the people coming to you
Hmm.
because they are aware and they perceive your value. And with the profile, with the title, they need to perceive very clearly what is your value proposition.
Wow. It very very important points. Starting with the mindset of thinking of a sales page and not a CV, and always focusing on what I have to offer. And guys and ladies also, if you're not sure what you have to offer, there's a special process for that. It's not for this show, how to extract exactly what you have to offer, because like Julian said, every one of us has something to offer to the world. Once we
Yeah.
understand what we have to offer, that's what we need to put on the table. That's what we need to put on our LinkedIn page. That, because this will attract, like it's like putting the honey and attracting the bees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You get
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How does that connect to what happens in the world in the quite last few years, where content became the king. Everybody's talking about promoting with content. It started with blogs a lot of years ago, and then it went to video, and now podcasting is a rising star, and everybody's talking about promote yourself with content. How does that
Mhm.
connect to what I show on my LinkedIn page, staying in alpha? How did you call it? Alpha page?
No, alpha position.
Alpha
Alpha
position.
position.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, regarding the content, well, again, LinkedIn it's a platform. So let's say for you, for example, you're gonna drive more people to your podcast because you want to have more followers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really like it's what I explain often. It's LinkedIn is the first entrance to many different other channels. Yeah,
Okay.
if I take in the context of China, okay, we use a social media called WeChat. So WeChat is like WhatsApp, but it's more
Yes.
than that. We pay with WeChat. We do business with WeChat. We scan the QR codes. There is not anymore how to say business card. And what is really fascinating, it's in the Chinese context, you can find the WeChat of very important people. Like giving you an example, a few weeks ago, I connect with the marketing director of Cartier,
Mm-hmm.
the famous luxury brand. Just like that, because of LinkedIn, I found her WeChat. 2 hours later, we were on the phone talking business.
Amazing.
Well,
Wow.
China, it's unique because people have less, I would say, skepticism to again engage a conversation. They see every time, okay, that person may be a new opportunity for me. So, what is pretty incredible, using LinkedIn, which is actually the only social Western network, social media, which is not blocked. Yeah, because you need to know that
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Google, yeah, it's blocked. We
Right.
need to use what we call a VPN. It's a software that allows
Mm-hmm.
you to connect you on a server abroad
Yes.
for being able to use that. So yeah, the Chinese don't have access so easily like that to our social network, and so it's very interesting, especially for me as a foreigner in China, to see that okay, we have one platform that is not blocked. So to come back to the idea of content creation, yeah, you need to do the first question is, yeah, why should I do content creation, right? Because okay, where is the point? First, okay, I have a profile, and people gonna come. But again, no, it doesn't work like that. When you want to drive your car, you need to put gasoline, right?
Right.
So that's the same with social media. That's exactly works the same. So you need to create content and to do that content creation very consistently to again be able to drive people into your profile. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the content creation allows the people to visit your profile, and because they visit your profile and because they see your content, let's say, very regularly, then they are being aware of what you have to provide. And they begin, if let's say they cannot offer that or not necessarily interested in your value proposition, well, they will remember you. Because again, you need to come back to this basic principle of marketing. It's you need to see at least 7 times an advertising before to make a decision if you're going to buy or not a
Right.
product or a service. So it works exactly the same with LinkedIn. So for that, people need to see your content. And again,
And
you need to, yeah,
they need to see it
please.
on ongoing process. Like
Yeah,
if I'm going to my LinkedIn profile now and I write something incredible, but then for a full month or 2 months I don't write anything, it will not do
Correct.
Any influence.
Correct. And you know, Hamir, it's for anything in your life. You want to lose weight, it's not because you're gonna run once in a month, you're gonna lose weight.
Right.
I mean, it's a tough process, and it's the same. I mean, like LinkedIn, or you want to lose weight. For example, I really begin to change my habits on cooking, and now I cook more fresh vegetable. But it's a process. I never did that a lot of time, and now I'm really learning how to recook healthy because I want to be healthy. So that's exactly the same. I mean, we can compare the content creation with the process of losing weight. It's
Yes.
exactly the same. And I think in all the aspects of your life, actually, like you need to be consistent and test and take a step back to understand how everything works. So for
Definitely.
LinkedIn, well, my advice is what I say often. Obviously, you cannot create massive content the way I do. Plus, I have a team for that. I won't lie. And all the people you see online that are very successful, they have a team. Don't believe it doesn't come like that. But at the beginning, I was like every one of you. I mean, I was with no money because I was a graduate student with debts. Okay. But when I began on social media, it was like that. I began to create processes and very simple processes. And what you can do, let's say 12 posts a month, meaning like 3 posts a week. I think it's already enough to begin. 3 posts a week and 12 posts a month, you can really prepare that content in 3 hours only. So my advice is you don't know what you do on Sunday. Well, Sunday is lazy day here in Shanghai. I don't know really about Israel, but go to
In
your
Israel,
favorite coffee shop.
in Israel, it's Saturday.
It's a Friday. Saturday. So okay, let's say in Tel Aviv, okay, I enjoy coffee shop, so you go to your favorite coffee shop in Tel Aviv on Saturday afternoon, and you just go along there and you begin to prepare all your content for the month. And the second point, when you prepare your content, it's to do what we call the evergreen content. So what
Okay.
is evergreen content? It's a content that doesn't change whatever the environment happen. Okay, COVID, I don't know, an asteroid. The content will still be the same. I'm French, so I can give you an example. Let's say I am a grand chef, okay, and I like cooking, and this is my expertise. The recipe of ratatouille doesn't change; it's still the same.
Yeah.
Or let's say you are a financial advisor. The basic principle of having a financial security fund doesn't change. It's a basic principle in finance.
Hmm.
And it's what I mean by evergreen content. So make it the most simple in the most simple language, and please, please, please don't use any acronym. Okay, like if I'm talking about KOL, you won't understand, and then it's a key opinion leader, meaning influencer. You know, if I begin to talk SEO, okay, a lot of people know what it is, but my point is, don't use this acronym, okay,
Hmm.
because unfortunately, you miss the opportunities that a larger audience understand your content. So every time you need to keep that in your mind. Even your grandmother should understand what you say, and that's the point. Like, don't make that content too much difficult in terms of accessibility. And when you create this content, okay. So for you, Amir, or let's say if you have another platform or if you use vlog, whatever, if you want to drive people to maximize the reach when you do a LinkedIn post, you put a call to action. Let's say discover the most amazing podcast that I did because of Julien. Okay, that's going to be your call to action. Here is the links. That's the call to action. Okay, the call to action is every time in comment. If you put inside the post, okay, inside the text of the post, is going to decrease the reach. So the reach meaning the visibility of your post, and that's a
Wow.
pity. So you need to know that. It's a
That's
little bit.
that's a very important tip. What you just
Yeah,
you just gave us.
yeah,
The call to action. Don't put it at the end of the post. Put it in the
yeah.
comments.
Mm.
Very important.
Correct, because it decreased, and it's also something very important. People, they create massive contents, but they have no clue where they want to drive the audience. And I think that's the main point. I mean, the awareness is great, but when you create the awareness, well, you should take the opportunity to again maybe get new clients or I don't know, get new subscriber for any other platform. So the call to
Yes.
action is very important. So let's come back on this idea. You
So
are a
what
financial
you
advisor.
you
Yeah,
talk you
sorry.
talked about quite a few things about content. I want to
Yeah,
repeat the main points for our listeners. First of all, you talked about continuity, about not making
yeah,
one post and then forget it and come after 2 months and do another. You talked about, for start, something like three posts per week.
correct.
For example, how many posts do you upload to LinkedIn? You post every day.
For me, yeah, I post every day because
Okay.
I need to do that. But again, if you begin with 3 posts, it's enough.
No, I want
It's
to I want
largely
I want
enough.
to draw the line for our listeners, so it will be clear that for a beginner, it's like 3 posts per week is good, and
Correct.
when you start becoming more of a professional than a beginner, then probably you will
Well,
find yourself at least
I
once a
wouldn't say
day.
being more professional. I would say when you are aware that okay, that platform can really bring you incredible opportunities, and then the more you post and the more people are aware, then it's what I call a process of delegation. Meaning you're gonna have someone, okay, can be a virtual assistant or can be an agency like me that okay you delegate and you outsource to again manage your content and
Hmm.
posting for you because it's what I remain. There is a certain point, okay, you need to go through the process. But when you are a CEO or a business owner, if I take just this example, your job is not really to manage your social media. Your
Hmm.
job is to take warm leads on the phone. That's the point. If it's different, if it's more a side passion, like creating a podcast, well, definitely, like you can step by step accept this idea of delegation.
Hmm.
And I think like it what makes the real difference between like the big influencer and the ones that are still in the same level. It's the people that are able to make a diversification for the content, but to increase massively the number of content. If you take people like obviously Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V,
Gary V.
which is one of the most
Hmm.
influential
Yeah.
people for personal brand. Well, he has an incredible team to manage all of this, but he never stops. He doesn't care. He gonna put out like 20 pieces of content a day. But again, he is Gary V. I mean, we are not to this level. For me, it's largely enough 3-4 pieces of content a day from
Okay.
Monday to Friday, and on the weekend it just relaxed. Like yeah.
Okay.
And I take more the time on the weekend actually to analyze the data of my post and see what worked and didn't work. I think also the time to analyze what kind of piece of content your audience like. It's really also important. But for that, you're gonna go there step by step. It's a process, and in the
Definitely.
beginning, my point is just keep it simple. 3 posts a week, it's largely enough.
Okay, so that's one thing, the
Yeah.
continuity, and start with about three posts per week. One thing I want to jump to the third one. You said the very important that we have some call to action. If
Yeah.
it's listen to my podcast, if it's create something else, and put this call to action in the comments and not inside the post. And you talked about preparing and posting evergreen content, which means content that is always interesting, always relevant. And I want to ask you, when you talk about evergreen, some people always say, make your post very relevant to what's happening now. Something happened today, write a post that is relevant to what happened today because this what makes people want to read it. And you're saying let's go for the evergreen. So between these two ends of the line, how where do you suggest we will put ourselves in between?
Again, the social media, you need to be aware that on social media, there is a limit. Social media are very addictive. And
Yeah.
if every time you are there, okay, on reacting on the news, meaning like you are coming from a place of fear. Why? Because you react on what's going on and you pay too much attention on the news and on the medias. Meaning, like rather than focusing on what really matters for you, then okay, you come from a place of uncertainty. So people who are going to react, it's people that again think like the last news and what's happening in the world are ultra important, but actually it's not, because again it's a construction. You can build your own reality. That's the point. So my
Okay.
point is, again, because I don't want to attract people with a scarcity mindset, I provide the value that doesn't depend on the circumstances, that again are enough general to provide enough value whatever the whatever happen into the world. And I think people need to remind that. And I think like this principle is again, you can put in application through the content you're going to create. I don't know. Sometimes, yes, that could be great. I mean, to react to some news. I mean, like 2 days ago, I was on the French TV news. I mean, yeah, for me that was huge. Of course, in my career, for the first time, I was on a 6 minutes interview on the French national TV news. That's huge. Of course, I react to that because I need to show, okay, I reached to this point to my audience.
Hmm.
But for the rest, commenting, on what's happening in the world, that's something I stop. I really think people also live in too much negativity because
Definitely.
media is by default, whatever you take, whatever country, is really to control your reality rather than, okay, thinking, okay, you could create your own reality. And that's the point. Well, we don't mind what's happening. Like, yeah, COVID-19, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of million of people are gonna lose their job, and at the end, Amir. So what? You cannot do anything. The point is, for you, you should focus on getting a vision. I'm going to create, let's say, the number one podcast in Israel to help the intermediate companies, and you should just care about that and provide value for these people. That's
So
it.
so what
That's
you're
it.
saying is you if you're talking for on a LinkedIn beginner that is going to post 3 posts per week, so
Yeah.
if it's like 12 posts per month, so you say if two of them will be about things that are really happening right now and are related, of course, to what I'm doing, that's fine, but 10 of them should be evergreen or something like that,
Correct. The
basically, roughly.
evergreen is every time, I would say 90% of
Okay.
the content you should create. Because the thing is, if you every time think about, oh yeah, I need to react to the news, it puts you in the state of stress. And unfortunately, you don't enjoy this process of content creation. That's the point.
Yes.
And I think like evergreen content, you can really focus on what are your ideas and what is the value you really want to provide. And I think for content, you really need to be in this mindset, to be really relaxed and not and plus, second reason,
Definitely.
Amir, is not possible because I mean there is too much things going on. You cannot react like
No.
every day on the news. It's just impossible. You
Right.
need to have this time of
Definitely.
reflection. So that's why my point is better be organized, better be disciplined, because I have seen too much people that, okay, create the post the day, okay, they post, and they do that maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maximum 6 weeks, and after they disappear. And the point is, when you begin content creation, and especially if you make this choice, when you begin, it's a process that you never stop. For me, it's 1 year. yeah, 1 year that I create at least one piece of content a day on
Wow.
LinkedIn, and that what makes the difference between people they succeed and that are not successful. It's again the consistency.
Amazing.
Believe me, it's not a question of being talented or whatever. It's a question of being consistent.
Definitely, definitely. I want to jump to another very important point, maybe even the main point that we want to really talk about.
Yeah.
I think we have about 10 or 12 minutes to the end of our time, which is lead creation, lead generation, opportunities generation. That's why we go to LinkedIn in the first place. We want more leads, we want more opportunities, we want to grow our business. How do we do it? This is your mastery, basically. So,
Well, again, first point is, and I often see that people doesn't know what is really their ideal client.
oh, very much.
I mean,
Very
I don't
important.
know for you, Amir. Okay, maybe you get married, but a client is like it's like seducing a girl. I mean,
Uh,
the type
I've,
of
I've
girl
been
you
I've been
prefer.
with my wife about 30 years now, so no,
Okay,
I'm
so
not the real
okay,
candidate for this
you know
example.
why you love your wife? I mean, because she's like this, she's like that, and so a client this is exactly the same. I mean,
Yeah.
like, okay, giving you an example. For me, okay, we have some clients. They are architects, but I will be honest, they are not my favorite. I prefer to work with people working in consulting or in IT because the way they structure the words, the way they communicate, it's like me. They resonate with processes, they
Okay.
resonate with figures. So my point is, you really need to know who is your client avatar. When
Yes.
you know that, when you know, okay, it's maybe okay, more a man of 50 years old and working in this industry, then okay, that makes more sense. And then you can approach these people, obviously because of the keywords. So for me, it's pretty simple. Who has the budget and the decision on the budget? It's the marketing director of the big corporation.
Hmm.
I want to approach, for instance, the COO or the CEO of the company. It's going to be every time the marketing director. So when you know, okay, what kind of people you need to approach, when you know what kind of industry, when you made your list, then okay, you can begin really to target. Um,
So the first
when
thing, what you're saying is that don't just look around for opportunities. Come
Yeah,
prepared. Come. When I say come, I mean like come to LinkedIn. Go, go into LinkedIn when you're prepared. When you know what's your ideal client avatar is. When you know what the
yeah,
people you want to look for, if it's by gender or by age or by position or by whatever criteria, and then
correct.
and then start looking for the opportunities.
Correct. Exactly. Uh, Again, for instance, like a lot of clients outside of China that we have, they come from majority the US or France because I'm French and my
Hmm.
business partner, she is Californian. So again, that makes more sense because we can create a report more easier. And even if I live in Shanghai, telling the truth, I don't work really with Chinese. It's more international companies here, or one of the co-founder is Chinese, but it's gonna be still one of the foreigner. One of the co-founder is still a foreigner.
Hmm.
So that's the point because obviously I can create a better rapport with French people
Of
or even
course.
Brazilian because also I live in Brazil. Because again, it's a matter of the language that you speak, the culture that you understand, etc., etc. So when you are aware of that, then okay, you can really begin the process of what I call a sequence of messages. So every time, and I invite you to do the test, every time you do a connection, an invitation for a new connection, what will increase the connection response rate is going to be the fact that you are going to add a note. And personalization is a key. And every time you're going to send this message, you're gonna include everyone's favorite word, which is the answer. I mean, what is
No.
everyone's favorite word? You remember
No. Sorry.
that? their first name.
Oh.
Yeah, it's easier to create a rapport with someone when you tell them their first name. Again, basic principle of psychology, and it works whatever when you speak or when you write. So when you're gonna begin to do this interaction, it's gonna be every time, hello, first name. I would love to join your network. So that could be the first message.
instead
Then the
instead
second,
instead of like a simple hi, I want to connect with you. You're saying
yeah,
make it a little bit more personal.
correct, because think about it, like you're gonna feel okay, that person, she's not honest with a process of okay entering in contact and really try creating a good relationship. I will give you an example. Every time you go to your mailbox and you see okay your first name is written, have you ever clicked more to this kind of email?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
exactly the same with LinkedIn. So you can compare the object name of an email when there is written your first name. You know, automatically you want to know. You want to know every time.
Yes.
It's tricky because okay, it's maybe a spam email, but you need to click because your first name is written. So it's exactly the same with LinkedIn. Exactly the same. So after that, okay, if you do that, you're gonna have at least, and believe me, 60% of connection that's going to accept your connection request. And then the second message could be again, we are in a professional network, so you need to remain polite. So you thank
Right.
them. Thank you for accepting my connection request. First name, how are you doing today? Well, for me, I'm French, so I stay on this basic thing. But I think this basic question again begin to create easier the relationship. We don't begin, okay, we are not animals also. We don't begin to say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, no, no,
No,
calm down. I'm
I've seen this stuff. I received connection request on LinkedIn, and immediately after I approved, I got a message that the I don't know, offering me this service and what
yeah.
we do, and maybe you will find it interesting, and I
That,
I really
that,
thought to myself. I said, "Come on, guy, we haven't met. We just met online. You just send me a request. I said, okay, let's be friends, and you're offering
yeah.
me your service. Why would I buy anything from you? I mean, we don't know yet each other, so okay, come on."
That's the point. And that's the thing that a lot of people miss. And okay, to again come back to this idea of seduction, whatever, when you go out with a girl, this is the same. You need a romance, and you need to romance the lead, and that's the
Yes.
same way. But again, be honest. Like we don't fake. We need to be honest and see really if there is a match, if there is a way to collaborate. So that's why it's a third message. What you could say, it's like, okay, be really considerate that person. Like, I would like to know more about what you do. Could you tell me the challenges your company is currently facing? And
Hmm.
maybe that person gonna talk about the problem that they have inside the company, and because they have this problem, maybe your solution could help them. That's the same way, like I didn't came to talk to you like, okay, please ask me on your podcast. No, first, okay, we begin to be friends. We,
Right.
we have a first call on Zoom. We begin to know each other and see, okay, how we can support each other. That's the same way. And again, unfortunately, people think like sending these spammy messages can bring to a result, and it's not the case. So again, take the time, relax. Okay, time it's an illusion. You have all the time, and take the time to interact with the people. You begin to enter in contact on LinkedIn, because again, you don't know on what opportunity yet they could bring. Maybe okay, At the moment, they are not interested, but maybe later, or because they know a friend of a friend. And again, so creating this relationship is very
Definitely,
important,
definitely.
very
So,
important, and you
so,
need to remind that. Yeah.
so I think it's not unique to LinkedIn, but the way to do it in LinkedIn, that's what you do best. But it's not unique to LinkedIn. That the opportunities are there, but we have to establish some connection between real people in order for these opportunities to become something more than opportunities.
Correct. And plus, if you have the opportunity to meet these people offline, Amir, the way I created maybe what is one of the biggest professional network. I'm ultra well connected here in Shanghai. Is mainly because of LinkedIn. But when I arrived, people were really with this desire to meet me. I mean, I was a young entrepreneur, young French entrepreneur with my dreams, and I was like, "Oh, I saw you are an entrepreneur too. Wow, I have such of admiration on what I've read on your profile." And feeling this generosity when I just arrived with my 2 luggages here in China to live my the Chinese dream. All these people were like, "Okay, Julien, let's meet for a beer, let's meet for a coffee on
Wow.
tomorrow." And I was like, wow, it's insane. I mean, that guy is a successful entrepreneur, and he wants
He wants to
to
meet
share.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
amazing.
that's really great. So if you have the opportunity, definitely meet these people offline. And if you think like that at the beginning doesn't worth your time, take these people on the phone. That's the best way. Writing is very superficial. If you want to go deeper into this relationship, so that would be the last tips in the sequence of messages. What I use, it's a booking calendar where you can book, okay, the most convenient time. Well, for me, it's more efficient because it allows me to manage my time, but because also I'm connected with a lot of people from different countries. Again, this booking calendar take into consideration the time difference. So again, it's very efficient for both parts
Right.
to again get to this interaction, because sometimes it's difficult to find a common time. So like that, you send back your time, okay, when you are available. You choose only one channel, okay, not don't propose Skype plus WhatsApp plus phone number. For me, it works only with Zoom. You want to talk to me, it's gonna be only on Zoom. That's like that. And
Okay.
because also I prefer to see the people with the webcam. It's easier to create
Definitely.
an interaction. So yeah, I think like this combo of you can check it out later. I use You Can Book Dead Me. You can check. It's free actually. You have a free version
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I
create
saw
your
it. I
book.
know. I booked our Zoom call through this
Yeah,
app. Yeah.
and you can integrate with You Can Book Me your Zoom ID, which is really really great.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it's the case in Israel, but I'm telling you because anyway, well, China and all all the things that happened terrible this year, it's in advance. What I can tell you, it's you better right now adapt to Zoom, guys. I don't know if you just realized, but that's the new normal. I mean,
Hmm.
everyone is on
Yeah.
Zoom. The way we are
It's
signing
also
contracts,
it's also in Israel. It's also in Israel. It becomes the new norm because, we've been like quite a few weeks that everybody was at home and nobody went to
yeah,
work, and then we started getting back to work, and now we're shutting down a little bit back because we have an uprising number of patients.
yeah,
So everybody's on Zoom. Everybody's on Zoom in Israel. I only heard one one guy yesterday or the day before that I talked to, and I asked him about if it's going to be a Zoom, and he said, "No, I don't use Zoom at work. It's not safe enough because of security issues. We have other platforms." But most of the people, most of the companies, I think, also in Israel, they use Zoom, and yeah, it's definitely going to be the norm. I think
yeah.
I can't imagine talking to a French guy who lives in Shanghai if it wasn't for Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't see how it would be possible for me to make this connection, and
Yeah.
God knows where this opportunity will go, but it wouldn't be available with if not for Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, Julian, I think that I'm definitely going to view this interview again, because though we talked about a lot of very important things, and if I want to summarize it, if we're talking about the content creation, your digital agency, Genius Encel, are you doing also the content creation, or you're just
Content creation is one of the key. As I explained,
okay?
you cannot prospect without content creation, because people stuck to you and they need to see your expertise. And it's through the content they're gonna see that you are an expert in your industry.
Okay.
Correct.
So I really really thank you for coming at this hour. I know it's late now in Shanghai, um,
That's my pleasure,
and
Amir.
for this interview. Um, Lots of very important tips about how to make LinkedIn more efficient and how to start making real business from LinkedIn. And I will definitely put your name and your LinkedIn profile when I post it underneath, because if someone wants to use one of the best people that I've met so far in this area of making business from LinkedIn, I want them to be able to reach you. Um, we know that now that through Zoom everything is possible between two sides of the world.
Yeah.
No language barriers. Nothing really can stop people from using your services, at least here in Israel. Also, so thank you again for being my guest at this show. Really,
It
really
has been
thank
an
you.
honor.
And